They're two of the best 1-2 punches as far as point guards and two guards that we have in our league up there with Steph, Clay, Brad, and Wall. They just create so many matchup problems for your team because they're able to play off one another. The ability to shoot the ball, their ability to penetrate. So they've been good for this franchise for a while.
Well, the man standing behind LeBron in that shot is the man who's front and center for us, NBA.com, Shaun Powell, out on the West Coast this year, covering LeBron and the Lakers in Portland this evening. What's the vibe several hours ahead of the debut?
Well, the one thing LeBron said that wasn't shown in that clip is that he's fresh and that he's willing to play whatever minutes, amount of playing time that the Lakers want him to play. He says that coaches in the past have always tried to temper his minutes, and he's always proved them wrong. And then this is a guy who averaged 37 minutes a game last year, led the NBA, never missed a game, also turns 34 this year, so we'll see. I think the best case scenario for the Lakers and LeBron going into this season is that he doesn't have to play a lot of minutes.
You know, I have a question. If you look at all of the things that you have to write about and talk about, you know, last year when you talked to the Lakers, it was about Ball and his dad. We haven't heard anything about those two really that much this year. Where are the storylines, and are those storylines still existing?
Well, let's hope we don't travel down that path, Kenny. I think the storyline is going to be LeBron, and whether or not this is going to be a team that's ready to take the next step in terms of being top four in the West, challenge for maybe the second round, maybe the conference finals. Obviously, you know, if you look at the Lakers now and the way they're constructed, you know, next summer is going to be just as important as last summer. They're going to try to build this team around LeBron. Maybe that they have to make a decision on Brandon Ingram, a money decision on him next summer because he's extension eligible. And they want to see if Brandon Ingram can be, on some nights, the second best player on the floor. So look for the Lakers to get him involved early. But I don't see any kind of problematic drama following this team. And, you know, and just in terms of what you mentioned, Kenny, I don't see any strife. LeBron has really taken just the culture of this team and changed it, and they're following their leader right now.
Shaun, have you gotten any sort of sense from Luke Walton about what his starting lineup may be and ultimately what lineup he may count on when the game is close?
Well, right now, Luke Walton's keeping it close to the vest. He would even name a starter for tonight as far as a point guard with Rondo and Lonzo Ball. I suspect it's probably going to be Rondo, if only because he played more minutes in the preseason than Lonzo, who was sort of, you know, mending from a knee injury. And look, I think as far as who's going to be on the floor when it counts, that's going to be dictated by play. You know, last year, the young players, when they didn't play well, they still played. This year, if they don't play well, they're going to be on the bench. And I think the same could be said for the veterans. If they play well, they're going to play. And if they don't play well, some of these young guys are going to be on the floor at crunch time.
Shaun Powell, NBA.com. We look forward to checking out your work, covering the Lakers and the Warriors all season long out in the West Coast for us.
Thanks, guys.
Kenny, do you believe the lineup, especially the first couple games, does that matter? Or we're obviously going to read into it, but should we?
Well, what we're going to really see is that LeBron James, I think, is going to be, to me, move to the 5 position more. You know, in the Western Conference, other than, Anthony Davis, you know, he can guard most of the centers in the Western Conference. You know, even Capella down in Houston, you know, he could guard him, but those guys can't guard him.
Right.
And I don't know if you remember, in Miami, Eric Spoelstra, when he first got there, and I think the NBA Finals when Chris Bosh was hurt or coming back and came off the bench, and LeBron started at the 5, Shane Battier is at the 4, and they played small ball. So I don't think that's unfamiliar to him. Being a 5, he could do that against Draymond Green easily, and then Draymond Green is going to have to deal with him instead of someone else. So I think that those things are what the Lakers will look at to kind of create different matchups and different environments when not JaVale McGee is on the floor at the center position.